Thanks for staying with us. Eskom plans to only implement load shedding during the peak evening periods for the next few days due to a continued improvement in generating capacity. It says for the evening peak periods on Monday, Tuesday and Wednesday, rolling blackouts will be reduced to stage 3 from 4 until midnight. Now, Eskom says the suspension of early morning and daytime load shedding was due to 3 units previously on outage being returned to service. Let's speak to Energy Expert Hilton Trollip, a research fellow at the University of Cape Town Risk Governance Program, to share some insights on these improvements. Thank you so much for your time. The Electricity Minister Hilton says that, he's attributing this to the current trend of, the fact that there's an improved generation over the past few weeks. I wonder, do you think that this is sustainable, and are you getting the sense that we have enough improvement when it comes to generation?
Good evening, Bongiwe, and to everybody else. The Electricity Minister is partially correct in attributing this to improvement in generation. So just taking this slowly because it's complicated.
Yes.
So as the Electricity Minister said before, it's a matter of supply and demand. On the supply side, we have an improvement in what's called unplanned outages. That's the machines that are broken down, and they shouldn't have broken down, unplanned. And that's improved from a few weeks ago, before the beginning of June. They were running at between 18,000 and 19,000, 18,500, a lot. And that has dropped down to, as until yesterday, 16,500. So that's 2,000 improvement out of 18,500. It's good, but 16,000, 16,500 still unplanned breakdowns is not good, which is why we still have load shedding. But there are some additional factors. And before I want to get into those additional factors, I'm looking at a screen here called the Eskom Data Portal that everybody can get onto. Just type in Eskom Data Portal into Google, and there it will be. Lots of facts. So I talk to the same facts as the Electricity Minister and Eskom. And this is really good. South Africa and Eskom have maintained this transparency, which I hope we continue to. So we're all talking to the same facts. So that's where I get the 18,500 and 16,500. So that means that 33% of the machines are broken, whereas beforehand, last week, it was 37%. But the previous week, it was 34%, very similar. And in March, it was 33%, the same as now. So there hasn't been a major improvement in unplanned outages, as welcome as it is.
Now, Hilton, pardon me for coming in there. I don't want us to run out of time. But then when we're listening to what you're talking about right now, someone is wondering, are we seeing also an impact made by those who are going off the grid? So
we don't know, because that's very difficult to understand. But there are other things so that gives us about 2 stages of load shedding for unplanned outages that the minister's talking about. But there's another thing, there's planned outages. And if you look at the planned outages last week and the week before, this month, they're also down. That means fewer machines have been taken off the grid to planned maintenance, which means that down the line, we might have a risk that we haven't done the planned maintenance we meant to do. So, for example, in April, 14% of the machines were in planned maintenance. At the moment, it's only 6. So that's another 2 stages of load shedding, which comes kind of from not doing the planned maintenance we're doing.
So if we're doing... If we're doing that, what does it mean then for winter? Because remember, they'd said that we're looking at a bleak winter, and a number of people are saying that right now we're not seeing as many cuts as we would have seen before. But if the units are not being taken out on planned maintenance, what does it mean for winter?
So, winter we might continue to have a better performance as we're having.
Okay.
But 4 months down the line or 6 months down the line, we might end up paying, and this has happened before. And I'd like to mention 2 other things which also lead to the decreased load shedding. The one is the use of the diesel-powered open-cycle gas turbines. So also, if you look at the statistics, these have been burning a lot more over the past 2 weeks than before. So there we get about another one stage of load shedding. And then also, I was on with 702 today with one of the Eskom executives, and he pointed to this. There's also been excellent production from our wind turbines. So we're getting about 2 stages of load shedding. Because it's winter, we get a lot more wind. So at times we get up to 4 stages of load shedding, decreased by the wind turbines, or we use those to pump, to recharge the pump storage, but most of the time at least 2 stages of load shedding. So as I say, the minister is partially correct. And of course, being the minister, and I saw the Eskom chair also saying this immediately, and all kudos to Eskom. They say this is because of the improvements at Eskom, but it's only partially so. So I hope that these unplanned outages can continue at the current rate, in which case we will not go to stage 8 as we thought we might. We never said we definitely would, but we can't expect the planned maintenance to decrease as it has been, and we can't burn the diesel gas turbines all the time. So this isn't over. We're cautiously optimistic. We congratulate Eskom on this decrease in unplanned maintenance. We're holding thumbs that it will continue, but the medium to long-term solution is still not being properly dealt with. I have to mention that.
Yeah.
And that is we need new power on the grid. We've often talked about this, Bongiwe. That is the responsibility of government, not Eskom, and they're still very late to the party with actually getting new capacity onto the grid.
And it'll be interesting, the next time we talk, Hilton, because there's now this 100, megawatts that's coming from Mozambique. And we do know, as we've heard, that an additional 600 megawatts will be available in the next 6 months. But is this enough to cushion us? Is it not? But let's leave it there. We're out of time, but always a pleasure to speak to you and do appreciate your insights. And I hope that when we speak again, we talk about this additional power. Thank you so much. That is Hilton Trollip, Energy Expert, UCT Global Risk Governance Program Research Fellow.